Let's go.
Yes, everybody. Russ, the West Ham Network. Hope you're safe and well. Emergency live Saturday night late live night late whatever it is. What the hell is going on at the moment? Seriously, when it comes to West Ham, we have had one hell of a week. This epitomizes what being a West Ham fan is all about. Let's start with it. We've been thumped by Chelsea on the Friday. We've had a crap weekend, long bank holiday. Tuesday, we got knocked. We're going to stay in the cup. No, we get knocked out of the cup. And then Wednesday, we're sort of licking our wounds. Thursday, we've had two players agreed. Fernandez, Magassa, midfield is exactly what we want. Friday, we've signed them. Fantastic. And then what a difference a day makes. 24 little hours. About 3 o'clock today, it's just started, crashed and burned, it seems, over the last 6 or 7 hours with stories and counter stories all about, and Anton spoke about it today already in terms of 𝗣𝗣𝗪𝗘𝗧𝗔 refusing to travel with the club. Whether he's refused or whether that's the narrative that's been put out there, we don't know. We probably never will know, to be honest. And then the whole thing with Lucas Paqueta. What is going on with Lucas Paqueta? Oh God. Look at you. You look so floral.
Still not living in my house, mate. That's why.
Oh dear. What is going on, mate? What is going on with Lucas?
Oh man.
Someone's lying and someone's telling the truth. And I think actually it's probably in the middle of the stories.
Well, if you see my latest post in the West Ham Network group chat, I was like, is David Sullivan actually sitting there in his silky pants and just being the puppeteer in this whole situation? I said it. Did I not say it the other day, Russ, in the chat? Like, I get baffled. And then Alex jumped in and went, why'd you get baffled, mate, when you know who's in charge? And I'm like, well, I know that, but I get baffled because I'm just so fucking baffled all the time. Like, I'm just like, can it get any worse? Can it get any crazier? And it's absolutely, and I know someone's feeding information. Simply is feeding information, right? And because we've been stung so many times, Russ, we are being fed and we are led to believe the feeding is coming from the top. 9 times out of 10. Maybe not. Yeah. Maybe not this time. Maybe this time. We don't know. But it's like we've been stung so much that you can't not help but think, is it coming from there as well?
Or to play devil's advocate, as you know I do, has 𝗣𝗪𝗪𝗧𝗧 got a jump on everyone? And now the counter stories are coming out to discredit Paqueta.
I don't know,
because that's the way I see it. Because at the end of the day, on our sort of I've got another little group chat. I've got a few group chats. You know, I'm quite a popular person. And on one of them, someone made a point saying, saying, oh, you know, 𝗣𝗪𝗪𝗧𝗧𝗧's, you know, he's got things wrong recently. But the thing is, when it comes to West Ham, because of all the Bruno thing last year, everything he does, he triple, quadruple checks because his name was mud, wasn't it? So literally, he wouldn't even say "here we goes" or anything like that until it was further down the line, and then probably he would normally do. I personally,
he did say "here we go" could be like the Greek, like soon, but if we come away from even the ITK element and we come down to the nitty gritty of, is Paqueta potentially leaving the club in the next couple of days. We would be silly not to think that that could not happen.
Yeah.
Even though the board come out and have said publicly, we don't want to sell him. So what the facts are, we know the facts, right? And correct me if I'm wrong here. We've only heard through grapevine that there's a £60 million. We've not physically heard the words. What we've heard the words are, physical words, were from Karen Brady saying he's not for sale.
Yeah. Yes, true. It's true.
That's the fact.
Yeah.
Everything else is coming from sources close to the club. It's information passed to information. Whereas the only person that's came out and spoke out factually that we've all heard was Karen Brady saying it's not for sale.
Yeah.
But we don't believe anything that's said because of the history of the way.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah. I mean, it's quite. I mean, X has literally just put up obviously. So all this, it's all gone off in the last hour, and X has put up he's what he's been told, and obviously it's the same thing that Sean's been told. Really, there are reports that the player has said he wants to not play at Nottingham Forest because of a talk of Aston Villa. We haven't been able to confirm the situation either way. We were told that Paqueta, we were told previously that Paqueta was happy at the club. An agent close to Paqueta said it's possible that he doesn't play tomorrow. When we asked the club what the situation was with Paqueta, the response was no interest in selling him. Offer from Villa is well below our value. It's basically the same thing that Sean said, almost word for word. Which again suggests that the party that's what the party line has been given. So
sorry, go. No,
go on. You carry on, mate. You go on.
I was just going to say, if I've lost my point. It was a good point. I've lost my point. Carry on. Sorry.
But in terms of it, firstly, I I can't. For Rich Jeremiah saying that that it's actually he wants the Villa move. It's like, well, really? I mean, to be honest, at the beginning of the transfer window, we wrote a list of the players we were going to sell. Lucas Paqueta was on that list, wasn't it? Based on we assumed whether or not we assumed he wasn't going to be in a West Ham shirt again, because he would either been found guilty or he wouldn't be found guilty and he'd been sold. I think if this was 𝗣𝗔𝗤𝗧𝗔 or 𝗣𝗣𝗐𝗏 or one of the Saudi Pro League sides to come in, I think we'd have gone, yeah, fair enough. But because it's Aston Villa, it's a Premier League club.
It just comes down to the Premier League. That's what it comes down to. I said earlier on in the chat, and I genuinely mean this, I am getting a little bit fed up of having to explain to Freddie why his favourite players are leaving the club all the time. But that's the pathway that I chose, to help Freddie choose for some fucking weird reason, because I'm giving him a life of absolute craziness like he's doing, and he's experiencing it right now. But Dan makes great points, right? Great points on Paqueta's not set the world alight. Really not set the world alight. We're living in this bubble and dream of when Paqueta doesn't necessarily play well for 90 minutes, but when he does something special, it's magical. That makes
when he
sense.
does something.
When he does something.
48 games without an assist.
Yes. So that's a total valid point. So I'm extremely open to selling Paqueta, but not within the Premier League. But then the next point is, has he been played to the full potential? Because we know he's a sort of player that if he was given full-blown utter freedom to do what he to be that luxury player, then that would work. And I think if we did keep Paqueta and we did have Fernandes in beside him doing that box-to-box job, and then we had the protector, whether that was, it's not now, whether it was Alvarez or whoever it's going to be, then that might see a slight change of trajectory. But Russ, we find ourselves in this situation again. We started the season off really bad. We've got a squad of players. There's a lot of disruption. It's wild disruption at West Ham. So even if half the stuff tonight's not true, there's clearly disruption, because we're hearing the story about Agerd not travelling with the squad. Again, all hearsay, but it sounds to be true. Rumoured that Emerson could be heading out the door. Rodriguez wants out the door. Irving's going out the door. So we've got a whole host of players that are currently in that squad. Right, let's look at it like this. See if Paquetá is there. They could be heading out the door. There's one player heading out the door. Emerson Palmieri heading out the door. Guido Rodriguez heading out the door. Andy Irving heading out the door.
Yep.
All four of those players. Agard heading out the door. There's 5 players potentially in tomorrow's squad. I know Emerson's not featured, but 5 players potentially in that squad could be heading out the door that supposedly want out the door. That's a ridiculous amount of players.
It is, and I think
for the squad mentality, Russ. The squad
very,
mentality
very much so. And I think, and I've told you my thoughts about Alvarez and Kudus, and I think there are a number of of bad eggs from a team perspective in the squad. And I think actually, and we said it yesterday in our little group chat, in terms of what we've been trying to do this transfer window, we've been trying to right a lot of wrongs to a very poor transfer policy in the last 2 or 3 years. We've had one of the oldest squads in the Premier League. We've got people like Danny Ings on 125 grand a week, Zuma on 100 grand a week, Antonio on 100 grand a week, barely them all playing, so that bit, yeah.
And to be fair, it does go further back than even 2 or 3 years.
Yeah. I mean, from Moyes 1.0, really. Well, Pellegrini onwards, because you've got to think Fabianski was under Pellegrini. So, just another little bit. X has put a bit more in. He's scrambling, bless him. Where he just said at the moment we have only spoken to 2 West Ham sources, and they have denied they have accepted a bid, and are quite annoyed with the reporting of such a thing from 𝗣𝗣𝗪 𝗪𝗏. The club are denying they are wishing to sell the player. I mean, fair, that goes on with what Karen Brady said at the TalkSport, didn't it? And they've maintained if they did, would be no less than 60 million. So an overall loan package would have to be 60 million. Now, 47, I think 𝗣𝗪𝗪 𝗪𝗏 said, including add-ons. So that's, all in all.
I do. Sorry, Karen.
I would say, and that replacements would need to be lined up, which I don't believe they are. Whether Paquetá wants the deal or not is unclear, and I guess that could be a deciding factor. As it stands, I don't think, this is from X, that a bid has been accepted. As far as I know, he will still be available for the game tomorrow. Things can change dramatically in football, so we'll keep you posted. I mean,
they can change dramatically, because I said it earlier on. Isaac is setting the precedent of what can actually, it's full-blown player power. We've known it for years, but Isaac's like the current one that's doing it. And what's crazy about that situation is he shouldn't be able to do it, but he can, because he's a good player and he's going to score goals wherever he goes. And he's proven that in Spain. He's proven that at international level. He's proven that in England. Now, the rumour is that Liverpool aren't going to go back in for another bid, but I highly doubt that. I think they possibly are going to go back in for another bid, and that will reduce the cost, because Newcastle will know they have to sell because they've got a player that doesn't want to play for them. So they've
got the replacement already, and they've got Valverde already. So
and then so you look at West Ham, and if Paquetá really wants to push that move through, he will push that move through. It's as simple as that. We're not in that luxurious position like Liverpool. BBC are now reporting we're in talks over £50 million package club, but don't want to say. Well, I can't even know what's going on. But yeah, player power. It's just so powerful.
But it's always been there with us, isn't it? As you said, I think your show, someone made a good point. Payet, Arnautovic, they both forced moves out, didn't they?
Yeah.
But they're both that mercurial player as well. That Payet,
and with West Ham and with teams like West Ham and Newcastle, that's always going to happen. But when you're at Liverpool and you're at Man City, they can afford to go, well, do you know what? If you act like that, we're going to fucking stick you on the bench because we've got a squad that are capable of surviving without you. And then it becomes the club's. It becomes in the club's favour. Not favour, it falls into the club's decision then at that point, because if they don't sell there and then, where West Ham and Newcastle are, let's just say Paquetá does turn around and say, I do want to leave, right? With a couple of days to go, his head's dropped. Are you telling me now West Ham ain't going to sell him? They will sell him.
Yeah.
And same with Isaac and Newcastle. They'll sell him. And this is just the rinse and repeat element with West Ham. Like, if they end up selling him for below 60 million quid, then why the fuck were they not doing it the moment he was found innocent? And getting it done a lot earlier with 2 days to go. Again, the only thing, I'm saying this again because I think people are in our West Ham Network WhatsApp group, which, by the way, for your reference, watch out because we've got something coming soon. I haven't told you, Russ, but I'll tell you in a minute after. Okay. I keep thinking everyone's on it, but if we have proper replacements lined up and we bring them in, then c'est la vie. Like, I'm okay with that. Like,
yeah, I mean that's the thing. I mean, it does seem that that Villa, obviously that Spurs are interested, weren't they? Everton were interested as well, but both have got sort of players in. Everton spent that money on Tyler dribbling as well. I think it is a bit like what we've done. Basically they're doing what we have done. In terms of we could have got Mads Hermansen 1st of June, but we didn't. We're paying the price for it now. But we got 15 million quid off the market. We probably, as soon as he was found innocent, he was probably at his highest value because he was available. You could get him now, and people are like, "We'll wait."
The club have gone from potentially making 80 million quid to nearly zero, possibly zero, and now gone, "Oh fuck, we can get 60 million." And exactly. You know the way they work. They're going to turn around and if that deal gets another 5 million added onto it, Russ, they will accept it. Like, I don't doubt that.
Same as Kudus. Kudus wasn't going for less than 60. He went for 55.
Yeah.
In it. So,
and I think it's just. I think the mad thing about this whole thing is just how late we're doing our business. Like,
oh yeah,
you've known all along about, for example, a Gerd, and if you've convinced a Gerd, then so be it. But obviously you haven't convinced the Gerd, really. But what doesn't help the situation? I mean, honestly, some of the players, Russ, must have been at the Wolves game again, or the Chelsea game or whatever, but the Wolves game in particular, and at the end when Bowen was reacting with the fans, a Gerd was there stopping Bowen from doing it. But in the back of his mind, he's probably thinking, fucking, I do not want to be here. They can feel the rot. They can feel the tension building up on and off the park, and it does look like that and acting like that, and it's like, people are saying, I don't want Potter to go, I want to give Potter a chance, but maybe he's touched West Ham and it's gone to rot, because everything that comes to West Ham goes to rot. I don't know, Russ.
Again, hindsight's going to be a fantastic thing. In it, it's like, we, as you said, we've seen so much go, and we'll see what happens when we get to Monday at 7:00. If we don't get, if a Gerd's going, one of those things is until something's on the table, he was probably, obviously when he said that, sort of when he left for Real Sociedad, it was like a goodbye letter. It was like thanks for the all that stuff. Thank you very much. Ta-ta. And then he came back, and then no one was in for him. And maybe he'd settled down and said, okay, well, actually, no one's coming in for me yet. And then Marseille, and he's always wanted to go back to France. That has always been a desire. And so it's sort of all lined up. And then his mate Emerson's probably going as well there. And it's like, it adds to the tapestry that is West Ham at the moment.
I just think when I think back to the start of the season, the summer, sorry, when we first got the notification through that Fabianski, Creswell, Soufal, they weren't coming in. Yeah, you're disappointed to say goodbye to people that have worked hard for the strip, but you're kind of excited about what the prospects of signings coming in. Listen, I'm happy we've brought Fernandes in. I'm happy we've brought in Magasa. I think genuinely, I'm quite excited about Fernandes. Well, I should be excited about Fernandes. I'm disappointed it came so late, and I don't know who he's going to be playing with because of the time he's come in at. And there's this element of integration that everyone talks about. I'm watching highlights right now, watching Bournemouth play. Like, they've turned up at Tottenham today, and they're putting the focus on Evan Nelson, Brooks, on Semenyo, like even Cliver, like they are that forward four, like, but they're keeping these players, they're keeping them motivated, they're keeping them.
They are keeping the forward players motivated, but the defence, they've had to buy a completely new defence, haven't they?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
Kirkus has gone, the two centre halves are gone, but they've replaced them.
But they've replaced them.
Hmm.
That's what it comes down to. They've replaced them, and yeah, I don't know. And you know, what was that comment there that you put up about? But no, the other one before that. Don't seem to kind of remember being true. It has to be selling propaganda to make the fans want him gone. Honestly, I wouldn't put that past him either, because he's got the history of doing it.
We've got form. We've got form of those things happening. And again, the Gerd thing, again, you know, that could be. Although Agaird's not really in the same bracket as someone like Paqueta. I think if Agaired left, people are like, nah, you know. Yeah. But if Agaired left and we didn't get replacement, then the narrative that he's forced to move out sort of covers that. We didn't know he was going to go. Whereas someone like Paqueta, it was pretty much nailed on. He weren't going to be. You know, I didn't think we'd see him in a West Ham shirt this season. I thought he would either be found guilty or be sold. It would go straight away. I thought he'd go back to Brazil or anything like that. And then I thought, actually, you know, Brazil, they don't tend to buy players in the summer. It tends to be players in the winter when their season finishes. So, yeah, it's although someone mentioned, which may be very horny, about Conor Gallagher. He was reported, I think it was in AS, the Spanish sports thing, that West Ham were holding interest in signing him. I think that was, and he was on the bench again today for Atletico Madrid.
A player, like, honestly, I would not turn my nose up to Conor Gallagher. I've been saying it for years. What?
Fuck no! He's the one I want. I just think he would literally change our midfield overnight.
Honestly, mate, like I've seen some fans say no about Conor Gallagher, but his loan at Crystal Palace was absolutely proven to be like what a kind of player he was. He's tenacious, he's relentless, and he's exactly that energy you need in the middle of the park. And he is someone that I think could, like you said, Russ, change the whole dynamics of our midfield, because he's got the element of creativity, but he just hits that. He's got everything there. Honestly, I'm going to go back and I've done a big video on him. It was a couple of years ago. I was like, why we should go all out and get him in, because he's I think he would be perfect. And but then again, if you're Conor Gallagher, Russ, right? Why are you going to come to West Ham and not go to Palace?
Well, it depends who bids for him, innit?
No, but if they both do,
they
both do, what's going to be your appeal mechanism right this second, right now, to go? Because when he was there, when was he at? When was he at Palace though?
Season before last, wasn't it? Because he went last season to Atletico. But no. I mean,
2 seasons ago. No, it was maybe 3 seasons ago.
2 seasons, then he was at Chelsea.
Yeah,
and wasn't he much game time, was he?
Yeah. Honestly,
you're right. You're totally right. And there's that, you know, and then it comes down to finances. It comes down to managers. You know, we led to believe that you know, as I said, I told you firsthand. You know, I think Potter's a very good manager. Very good coach. Whether he's a good manager is another thing. We'll find that out. Hindsight's a great thing for us. And it's between him and Glasner, really. It's a straight shootout. I think the money would be the same. But yeah, and the only way we would sell Paqueta is if it would be £60 million. You know, and we've got replacements lined up. We've said that before. We said we're not selling players, and you know, and as you said, with the likes of Alvarez going on loan, you know, and that's probably one of the reasons why I think Rodriguez hasn't left yet, because we haven't got that third midfielder in.
Yeah,
you know, and so you know, Alvarez and Irvin's out the door when they can give when Ryan Reynolds opens up his wallet a bit more, and so yeah, them that 2 out 2 in, you know, but.
I look at deals like the Irving deal. Like I think it's like, where did they get the valuation of $5 million from? I'm just being honest. Like I think that's a good deal for West Ham, but where the fuck did they?
It's a great deal for us. Yeah,
You know, is it because he got a Scottish call up from playing a few games with West Ham? Like,
Probably. That's the thing. That's the thing. When we pick up these players, so the likes of Diouf and these players, we pick them up for decent money. You know, buying them from outside of the Premier League, by selling them from a Premier League club, you're almost doubling your money straight away.
Yes, and that's the model that I thought we would have hit, be smacking up, be tasted, like doing it left, right, and centre. You know, some people have said we've paid over the odds for Fernandes. I don't know, man. Time will tell, but he looks like he's hopefully going to be a decent player. You know, who's the other? I'm not saying similar, but look at the Fabio Silva saga that's gone on at Wolves. He's ended up fucking getting signed from Borussia Dortmund now. Wolves have made half, if not just over half, maybe 3/4 of the money back that they did. But he had terrible loans.
Awful.
He had 4 loans, and each one of them was as bad as each other. But they've still managed to negotiate 23 million quid or something like that.
Got a good agent.
Yeah, good.
In it.
Good. Just but or just people negotiating that are fucking like the club as well. Like they're as much as the agents there, the club are going to go, we'll sell, but we want to make something back. But typical of West Ham, it's the complete opposite. Sometimes I was going to say we're the only club that go through this, but I think we're the only club that go through it with all the time, like as in relentless amount. It is relentless, Russ.
Apparently, Fabrizio Romano's deleted the "Here we go soon" post from his Lucas Paqueta on Instagram. Oh dear! But I'm saying, like today, as I've been saying, this week has been. If you like, we're doing a roller coaster this week, right? We were down after the weekend, losing to Chelsea, and then we start going up a little bit. We start playing all right against Wolves, then we get knocked out. Then we're down and down and down. Then Thursday, couple of players we bought. Friday, we've signed. And then from about 3 o'clock onwards today, it's just gone completely downhill. Isn't it?
It's wild. It's absolutely wild. Like it's yeah. Listen, I'm just trying to remember the days without social media. And right now, and without Sky Sports News. And right now, I would have been on teletext on 338 looking at the gossip column. On BBC's teletext and gossip column, and it wouldn't be getting updated as much as we're getting updated now. So the social media has a lot to play for in it. But we, doing what we do, Russ, we go searching for it. That's the problem, and we get ourselves. We go into this whole fucking hole, like, and we try and corroborate some stories or try and work out if those stories are going to be, correct. And yes, we put some stuff out there, and usually if it's taking a piss thumbnail, it might be about. If we're linked to Ronaldo tomorrow, we'll put West Ham linked to Ronaldo, and then when you actually watch the video, we're laughing at the link kind of idea, some of stuff like that. But because Russ does take the piss out of the amount of players we're linked to over the summer.
Yeah, I mean we're 200, and I think about 215 at the moment. And actually, speaking of stats, friend of the channel Nigel Khan just put a cracking stat on his Twitter. If Fernandes starts tomorrow, he'll be our 1,000th player to make a first-class competitive game at West Ham. How cool is that? That is cool. Yeah, that is really cool. I like that a lot.
It's a cool stat. I seen that earlier on.
But Jeremy Aladier was 750th.
Jesus Christ.
But Johnny Harris, good old Johnny, we'll get him on the channel soon, was our 500th player. Love that.
Jerome Aladier.
Oh, Jeremy didn't want to come and do a Miami's 11, Jeremy, because he didn't think he was like a West Ham player. That's what he told me. There we go. We'll go for a few more comments. First manager to actually attempt to lower the squad age. Well, he has massively. He's literally got rid of, apart from Souček's 30. Actually, Souček, apart from the midfield 3. He's got rid of. Actually, he got rid of the 5 oldest players at the club: Fabianski, Antonio, Cresswell, Danny Ings, Zuma, and Soufal. He got rid of the 6 oldest players automatically.
Sorry, just quickly, I'm looking at the Premier League table. Sunderland got fucking 6 points.
I know, he's scary, isn't it?
6th place, man. Everton and Sunderland are 6th and 7th.
John, not only were the only side to bid for Fernandez, we were the only side to bid for her Mads as well. So we outbid ourselves.
John, that's funny. It's a funny point because I think I said in the video after we signed him, didn't we not bid 32 million quid a few days earlier, and then suddenly just go fucking there you go. There's 10 million extra just out of the blue. Like our negotiation skills are fucking wild, like absolutely wild.
Yeah,
Just what do you want? How does it work? Because it's like, Russ, I love a bit of negotiation, right? I love it.
Me
I've
too.
just been on holiday. I've been walking down the beach. I've seen the odd thing, I'm like, I love the negotiation, right? And if they say 20 euros, I ain't gonna go in and say €5, right? I ain't gonna do that. I love negotiation, but I ain't gonna say fucking €5 because I'm gonna be a bit of a dick, right? Now, and then the guy's gonna go, nah, chuck it down on the floor, don't want to speak to me again. And then I'll get that. I just don't want to do that, but that's what we do. It's the low block, and we've, like we said, he got caught out over Carvalho. Remember, I said it the other day, the Carvalho deal, when the owner of
Sporting
Lisbon put out the email.
Yeah.
And I remember taking that email and then rewording it and using things like dildos as like things as examples of why we would have potentially got Carvalho. But the point of the matter was he got caught out, and he deserved to get caught out because of what he was doing to Sporting Lisbon and the ownership. It's just ridiculous.
That's what I said. I think it was one of Gonzo's videos. He called our negotiation tactics like we were buying off eBay.
Yeah,
where you've got like you're at £10 and someone's outbid you, so you'll go £10, 10p, £10, 20, and you keep doing it until you're the highest. And that is what we seem to have always been doing. It's almost like it is like the trader. It is like a market trader. It's like,
actual fact, that's quite a good analogy. But I actually think what happens is on eBay, do you not put in what your highest bid will be, and eBay will then go in.
Exactly.
And bid for you. But what West Ham actually do is, when no one's got in bid, we just look on eBay and we go, no one's bid yet. My highest bid's 12 quid. But what I'll do is I'll raise it to 14. Then I'll go in and check it again tomorrow. No one's bid again. But do you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to raise my bid to 15 quid because we're fucking stupid. Like, it's just ridiculous. I can't be bothered, honestly. Tonight's been an example of that. It consumes your night.
Again, it's like it's been played out in social media, and you can read into how much it does. I mean, personally, it looks like that Fabio has it's two things. He's either jumped the gun, and he's got the info, the scoop, or it's maybe he's over embellished it a little bit. And he sort of kept it back a little bit by saying almost here we go. So not really an official here we go. And the club have gone, what the fuck? They okay. Because under Steinem, we know that he used to do stuff with Fabio and Peltenberg. So yeah, it's very interesting indeed.
Well, interestingly enough, everyone's got involved in the mess tonight, and Jacob Steinberg spoke out as well. And we all know his connection previously. I say previously because some of the statements he's been making recently have been quite digging out the board, which is
he does always do that. To be honest, he does.
But this one was kind of a bit of a real fucking hardcore dig, which made me think something kind of happened there. Is he not getting exclusive information? Anyway, whatever. He's come out and he's spoken tonight, and he said that reiterated what the board have said. But then said, but Paquetá wants to leave.
He says that, he wants to. But I think, to be honest, he's always said he's been open to a move, but wouldn't push for a move. That makes sense. So if a move came along, so he's always been, by the he knows West Ham sort of looked after him and kept it going.
But it's a bit of a bullshit statement, though, isn't
it? Yeah. But then Fabio just posted this.
Here we go.
Emerson to Marseille. Marseille will pay. Ready? Here we go. Marseille will pay €1 million total package, add-ons included. Green light now from West Ham to travel. We have sold Emerson for €1 million.
So he's got a year in
Total.
his year in his contract with a year option. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Why is he being sold for €1 million?
Do you know the only reason I think is wages. That's the only reason. He's on 95, 100 grand a week. I think we are trying to really. I mean, as I said, my calculations are that we've just on the back of a fag packet. I don't smoke, but we've saved about £500,000 a week in wages with the players we've got rid of.
And I totally don't mind that, but in terms of generating £1 million to go towards,
including add-ons, that's not even a million.
But surely he's worth more than that.
I thought we were looking for like 10 million quid for him.
But maybe he's not worth more than that because no other fucking clubs came in and offered 2 million. I don't fucking understand. Russ, I don't get football. I fucking don't understand it. I like coming on and having a bit of banter now. I'm not proclaiming to know fucking nothing. Do you know what I'll talk to you about wrestling? Because I know more about wrestling than I do about fucking football.
Yeah.
The fuck out of me.
I wonder if one of the Paqueta thing was to get everyone like and then he just slides the Emerson like under the table, and so everyone's not really looking at that. But honestly, to be honest, right?
We'll get a here we go for a Gerd now, right? And that will be $2.5 million total package.
Probably. And I mean, in all honesty, Emerson's third choice. And if he goes, it means someone like 𝗣𝗣𝗏𝗧𝗔 could be third choice. Who is the fastest player in the club. So I don't mind that. But £1 million quid,
I don't mind
65, 90. I mean, it could also mean that we can spend more on wages for the people coming in. So if it was, if it was a Harvey Elliott or it was a Conor Gallagher, we could offer them a lot more than maybe Crystal Palace could on a wage deal.
Yeah, but then that's where we need to really watch because West Ham's wage structure, as much as we're doing that, we don't know how to look after. We don't have a history of looking after players well. An example of that will be Chicharito Hernandez. We brought him in, we paid him the big bucks, we benched him, he wasn't happy. We brought in, and then the players were all starting to get annoyed, and then blatantly the conversations are going, well, I'm getting this, I'm supposed to be the top dog, and I'm fucking sitting on the bench. Well, and then you would hear Antonio speak out quite clearly saying, I've not, players are walking in the door. He's saying it out loud and they're earning this. And he's not being,
Yeah, I get that. That's a function of being in a job for a long time, though, isn't it? And I've always said that. For sometimes it's like I don't agree with the way he said it. I agree that, and that's he's obviously not very good his agent's shit, because someone like Zuma was always the case, was he will be the top earner at the club. That was written into his contract. So when the likes of Areola come, when someone comes in like Danny Ings on 125, I think Zoom was on 115. He got a bump up to 125. That's how negotiations work. But yeah, I totally agree. It does, as I said, it's you've got to see the type of players who have gone and the players we brought in. There's no way probably Diouf's on more than 50 grand a week.
And I think your point about the wages though is very good. Like, as much as a £1 million euro fee, which is shit, clearing out what you've just about to name is very good for West Ham, because for so long, think back to Yarmolenko. Think back to what he earned. Think about Danny Ings, what he earned. We've had the discussion about Areola, what he earns at the club as a keeper. Hence the reason probably West Ham are pushing for another keeper, because they might be looking at trying to shave him off the bill as well. I've just seen Matt's message. Sorry.
1 minute is embarrassing. 2BH. Thank you, Matthew. Thank you, Matthew, for that. But yeah, I mean, you got to think, if he said a year, I mean, that's 95 grand's about 5 million quid.
Yeah.
A year we've saved. Plus everything else, we must have saved 20 million quid, 25 million quid on the wage bill by getting rid of those ones. Because as you said, Diouf won't be on nowhere near what Danny Ings was on, maybe 50 grand a week, maybe. You've got Fernandez, probably 50, 60 grand a week. He's 21, so that'll be bumped up and ratchet. Even if it was 70 grand, that's still a lot cheaper than some of the stuff we got rid of. Magassa coming from League R, I don't think it will be on like massive 50, 60 again. Kyle Walker-Peters, 50. I mean, he was only like 20 grand or something like that. He's not on a massive wage. Callum only plays, we pay him when he plays. Otherwise, he's on 6 grand a week, So, it just seems that I think, and obviously the whole thing with the women's team, potentially selling 49% of that to an American consortium, it does seem we're properly trying to balance the books. Personally,
I don't mind West Ham doing an exercise where we try to reset to a certain extent. I have a problem with the timing of doing the exercise. I have a problem of the timing of when we do the deals we do, when we try and bring in the players that we do, when we sell the players when we do, that we don't build an infrastructure. I have a problem with that. That's my problem. It's not about, if we're doing the right thing for the right reasons, then it's understandable. But if we are, we've been stung too many times for me to just believe not believe that Sully's not involved in some way.
Yeah, of course he is. Yeah, I mean, Fabrizio's come back with more. More on the Paqueta situation. The bid for 47 million total package on the table with the player key in the move. No green light to be seen from West Ham at this point, as West Ham still hope to keep Paqueta. Potter has requested not to sell the Brazilian, while Villa are pushing. So, we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see what happens. He'll probably play tomorrow. I've recorded the starting 11 show about 5 times today. Every time I do it,
I was going to message you today actually and say, Russ, maybe it might be worthwhile changing your show. I've not watched it, but I was going to say to you to maybe change it because I thought, who are we actually going to have fucking playing?
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. Do you talk about Guido? Do you talk about Irving? Do you talk about Aguerd? Do you talk about Paqueta?
Guido's still here, mate. Guido's not going anywhere.
No, I know. I'm saying, do you talk about? I'm just saying. I'm just jesting.
Yeah. Spoiler alert: you're playing centre back, and I'm playing up front.
There we go.
I think that's always going to be because I can offer something different in the final third, and you can header it, and because you've got your extra bum. So, there we go. I'm going to go to bed. So we've got a bit busy day tomorrow. Who knows what's going to happen? And Gatesy just turned up, and we're going to go to bed. There we go. Lovely, Gatesy. Anyway, guys, don't forget to like, comment, share. Don't forget to check out also the channel sponsor, Match Bingo. Get your bingo cards for tomorrow. Over 18s, 18 plus is UK only. Get your bingo cards. At least you can have a bit of fun if we lose tomorrow or we win, And we've won a couple of times. The West Ham Network's won the full house. And fair play to Match Bingo. They donated the cash to the Iron Sporting Food Banks, which was very kind of them. Don't forget to like, comment, share all that good stuff, and we'll see what happens. John, you say that you say that in jest. You say it in jest, but let me tell you, my friend, I was Essex 100 meters champion, 11.2 PB.
Dreams.
And with this size, that's why you call me the barrel.
I'm jesting.
I was in the South England final. I came last, and literally, I'd literally got out the starting blocks, and everyone fucking finished. Oh, it was mental. Anyway, take care, everyone. We'll see you soon. Much love. Peace out, motherfuckers.
Irons.
Irons. Irons.